Hey everyone, today I want to talk about spontaneous pulmonary mechanics. You may be more comfortable calling these weaning parameters because these are measurements that we take to see if a person's ready to start the weaning process when they're on the ventilator. And the thing about the vent is it does a lot of these things for you. But sometimes you may have patients, and especially if you're taking the MBRC exam and you have a person that presents with a neuromuscular disease like myasthenia gravis or Guillain-Barré, you have to measure those spontaneous pulmonary mechanics and you don't have a ventilator do it for you. So how do you do it? You use this device. This device is called a Wright Spirometer, or some people call it a Wright Spirometer, and some people may call it just the Wrights, okay? So this is what we're going to use to ascertain spontaneous tidal volume and vital capacity. So basically what we want to do is we have to protect the patient from this device because these sometimes go patient to patient to patient without being sterilized in between. So you put a bacteria filter between it and the patient, or you can use a one-way valving system so the patient breathes in from the room air and then they exhale into the device. They never inhale through the device with a one-way valving system. But basically you have them breathe and this measures exhaled air. And there's a faceplate. I'm not going to show you how to read it because different Wrights are a little bit different, but you can see that there's all these readings that will measure minute volume for you and vital capacity. So here's how you do minute volume, and I'll post a video with that. But basically, you have the patient put this in their mouth with a bacteria filter, let's say. You have them hold their nose or use nose plugs, and you time them for 1 minute. They breathe normally through this device for 1 minute's time. While they're breathing, you want to count their respiratory rate. When you're done, you have the minute volume, you have the respiratory rate. Minute volume divided by respiratory rate is tidal volume. You will have the patient's spontaneous tidal volume, which, if everything's normal, should be greater than 5 mLs per kilo of ideal body weight. If it's not greater than 5 mLs, if it's less than 5 mLs, that's a problem. 5 mLs per kilo, that's a problem because they're not going to sustain ventilation very long because tidal volume is a big part of minute volume, which is how we remove CO2. All right, another thing you can use this for is to measure vital capacity. Super critical value. Normal vital capacity is 65 to 75 mLs per kilo. If it is actually less than 10 mLs per kilo, again, the patient's not going to be able to sustain ventilation. So how do you do that? You have the patient take a great big deep breath in, you put this in their mouth with a bacteria filter, and they exhale absolutely everything they can. And then you read it for this device, okay? So Wright Spirometer, very useful to obtain spontaneous pulmonary mechanics and vital capacity. Stay tuned and I'll post a video showing you how it's actually done. See you soon.